I'm going to create a very simple, basic application to demonstrate navigation and how you create different pages. So I've started a new application here. I'm going to load in I want a backdrop like that. So that's my little backdrop object which I've added. I'm going to double click and load in a title image. Yeah, so this is my background object. I've also got a grid setup here. If I view the grid setup, this is really for alignment, so it's like any other grid that you can snap objects to it. So I've put this as my background. I'm going to lock it, so I can't select it. I'm going to put in some objects now for buttons, and I'm using this active object here, which looks like a little graphic object like this. I'm going to double click it and load in. What I've got here is I'm actually going to use PNG format, and it's an 8-bit PNG because the colors are quite low. I'm going to load that in. Now there's a problem here because I'm using black and the default transparent color is black, so that actually creates a couple of problems. One is that by default it'll look the black will look transparent when I edit, although you can change that. But the other problem is that when you use it as a button, and even when it's not set to transparent, so even when it doesn't look transparent, it won't register this black area or any black pixels as a button click or as a press on a tablet. So what I'm going to do here is actually, if it'll let me, pick a stupid color to be transparent which isn't present anywhere in my image, which means that and I'm also going to turn off transparency just in case. That's really not apparent until it starts going wrong, so I'm going to do that for all my objects. It's really because I'm using black as part of my background, which for a button is a bit of a problem. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm just putting 3 active objects which are going to function as let me do that again. That's my pipe object. I want to set my background color to something stupid, and I'm going to turn off transparency. So what I mean by this is if I click in this area here and I had black so it was transparent, it wouldn't register the button click. So I'm also going to put on some text. And this is Mayan terracotta. I'm just going to be just do something very basic here, which is probably going to look pretty bad. So I've got my very basic menu here. Before I do anything else, I'm going to name these objects. So at the moment they're called active, active 2, active 3. I'm going to rename this, call this title button. Next head button, hyper button, this string is my title. So, and this frame is my title page. So let's run that and see what we've got. So there's my application running. All of these are static. these 3 static objects and my background object and my string, which is my text here. So what I want to do next is I'm going to insert a new frame, and this is going to be my Piper page. So let's have a look at that. Now my background here is white. I don't want it white, I want it to match that background colour. So I'm just going to, here, instead of putting an image in, I'm going to set a colour to match my title page. And then perhaps I'll put another background object in actually for my seated musician. And here I'm using a JPEG. So JPEGs are okay to use. Although I'd be careful. You're safest with a PNG image more than anything else, because of compression problems with JPEG. What's this called? This is actually called Seated Musician. So this is going to look stupid. Never mind. And I'm going to put in another active object for my menu, which is going to lead back to my title page. Did I get it in the right place? Yeah. So now if I run this, we still won't get anything happen because I haven't put any script on these buttons. So I'm just going to put something on this one, my Piper button. So I'm going to move to the event editor, and I'm going to create a new condition. This is going to be a mouse click on an object. So what I want to do is actually make this Piper button the object that it clicks on. So using the left mouse button, I want it to, if it clicks on the Piper button, if the person using it clicks on the Piper button, I want it to go somewhere. So on my storyboard, I want to jump to a specific frame, and that frame is this Piper page, like that. So let's run the application, and nothing will happen if I click on either of these. If I click on this, I jump to my seated musician. If I click back on this, nothing happens, and that's because on my Piper page I haven't put a behavior on this. So I'm going to rename this, and so this should be my title button. And then on the events, I want to create a mouse click on an object, and the object is going to be this, my title button. And what I want to happen is I want to jump to a specific frame, which is the title page. So let's run it now, see what happens. There's my buttons. I'm going to click on the musician. It takes me to the musician page, and I'm going to click on this, which should take me back to the title.